Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Sanja, I see you there. Hi, all. Sitting here with my big grand pup on my lap. He has a broken leg. Oh, Cheerio. And just wants to lay on Grant. I'm sorry, Cheerio.
Aw.
Well, welcome in, everybody. We are here on my channel, AJ's Personal Touch, and I have Cynthia with me from Cynthia's Joyful Crochet. And as you guys know, we are here for a memorial for Keith. Keith Lewis, for those of you who didn't know Keith. I have had quite a few people in the last couple weeks say, who was Keith? And so I've talked about him a lot. In the last
And we'll show you in a little bit. We're going to show a video slide.
Yeah. So as always, as you come in, let me know what's on your hook and what's in your cup. Mine is in a can. I have an Olipop tonight, an orange cream one. And I am going to be working on what Keith was working on as far as cat toys. I'm working on my circles from the gallons, from the milk gallons. And I'm actually using a hook set that he had just bought because he liked mine and I had helped him get. So everything's Keith tonight. And I put on one of my new shirts. I don't think you can see it. It says Fruit of the Spirit, which is Galatians 5:22.
So I'm drinking water and, of course, my favorite apple cinnamon tea. It's a little hot, so that's why I'm drinking the water. And what else did you say? Oh, yes, you told them I was Cynthia from Cynthia's Joyful Creations. And I am going to be working on another cat ball. I've done one, and I'll be making another one. And I just happen to be wearing my Be Kind to Everyone shirt from Jordan Summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what you said.
Yeah, I need to look into Jordan Summer. I haven't looked into their stuff yet. Sanja says 7-Up in my cup and have been working on her Afghan today. And thank you, Sanja. She said she loves my shirt. I am so hot. I had to, right before it was time, I literally jumped in and out as soon as my shower got cold enough to cool off. I made keto scones as I told Bob, part of my belated Father's Day gift because my daughter brought dessert that day, vegan dessert. So I knew he was going to have dessert. So I waited. And plus, I've been itching. I haven't been feeling well. But the doctor, I see him tomorrow, and he put me on prednisone. So I was kind of on my little bit of my prednisone high.
Hello, Ambi.
Got to get some things done. Hello, Ambi. Hello from my creative corner of creation. That's Ambi's tagline.
Hey, Kathy.
Hello, Kathy. She says, hi, everyone. Sitting outside drinking iced coffee. Hot here, too. It's 91 right now. Yeah, it says 86 on my screen, but I think did it rain again, hon? No, it rained this morning or this afternoon sometime. I was sleeping when it rained. I just knew that it did because Kalua got off of my lap and she went and hid. And there's Kaylin from Kay's Crochet Haven. She says, hey, y'all, I'm working on a tank top and got sweet tea in my cup. I should have known that. I could have told you she had sweet tea in her cup. 9 times out of 10, that's what she's got in her cup.
Me too, Kaylin. I'm constantly drinking. Well, mine's herbal tea all the time, but.
Oh, I drink tea all the time. I prepare a thing of hot peppermint tea when I go to bed at night to have next to me. I leave the lid open so it stays warm and not hot. That way, anytime I need to drink at night, that's what I have because it calms my stomach down.
Hey, Jay, I'm going to go get a bell. I forgot to get that.
Okay. So I think I'm going to start I'm working on rings for those who didn't hear. So I think I'm going to start my first one, blue. I don't know if I want to say blue may have been Keith's favorite color. I know I wrote it down somewhere because I had asked him before, because I was planning on making him something that I make for the people that I care about the most, which I can't say what it is because then those of you who will be getting one from me will know. So Ambi says, I am still sitting outside after watering the garden. It is quite pleasant out. I didn't get outside today to sit and pet chart like I usually do. So Sanja says, I bought some of the All Sweet Tea watermelon tea. Oh, goodness. The best tea I've ever had. Haven't heard of that. I know that I use Jordan's syrups for like my coffees and my tea. And they came out with the sweet tea this year. I almost bought some just so I could have like the sweetest tea like everybody else because it's sugar free, but I didn't. My mom taught me how to drink. She used to make, what was it called? Sun tea. She used to make sun tea and would not let me use any kind of sweetener in it. So I got used to drinking tea without anything in it. Let me tell you, I can't do that anymore. I have to have a little bit of sweetener in there, but I don't like it overly sweet. Unless I go somewhere and I need to get tea and they don't have anything besides non-sugar tea and I don't like what they have to put in it because I don't like to use, I like to use monk fruit. So if they don't have that, then I will combine like a fourth a cup of sweet tea and I'll put the rest of the non-sweet tea. Ambi says, I'll be getting water and some tea when I go in. And Sandra says, love sun tea too. Yeah, I miss it. I haven't had sun tea in like forever. But what I make now is I have a container. I have two of them, one for coffee, one for tea. It's called the Cold Tea Brewer. It's from Tupperware, but you can make tea or coffee. So I have two, one for tea and one for coffee. Just I still only have, we only have room for me to do one at a time, but that way I don't get the tea one all gunked up with the coffee grinds. And sometimes if it happens to be that I can do them both at the same time, I will. Andy says, we'll probably work on my Afghan I posted in your group. Awesome. I thought your Afghan was done, but okay, so you're still working on it. Cool. It's a pretty Afghan.
So what is everyone working on?
They've been, let me see. Kaylin is working on a tank top. Kathy's outside, so I don't think she's working on anything right now. Sanja, what did she say she was working on? She said that way up here.
Oh my gosh, that watermelon tea sounds good.
She's got pup on her lap. Working on an Afghan today. So 2 Afghans because Ambi and Sanja are working on an Afghan and then Kaylin's working on a tank top. Don't forget, you guys, is anybody going to be making any cat toys in honor of Keith? Just asking. Or have you made some already? And I did post the links down below, the same ones that I posted on the intro video. I posted down below on this one. I do have some more patterns that I can send to people, but I don't have a way to link them on there. So you just have to ask me for them if you would like them. They're the ones that the Meow Mission actually sent me. Whoops. Trying to find the way that this will come up here and stop. There we go. Now I'm getting ready to hook this on. Does anybody want to see how I hook this onto one of these rings? Because I know that's a question I get all the time, but I think most of you probably know. Kaylin
I
says
just want to see what you do with it.
she says I use tea bags from the store. They are orange pico and black tea blend. That sounds good. I got an orange tangerine blend, I think, the other day from the store. And that's what I have in my cold brewer right now. Kathy, I have a whole bag of cat toys for you, and there are rings in there. Yeah, I know you do. Kathy's been working on them for as long as Keith and I were. Well, Keith and I would get together and work on them before he passed. He suggests I'm working on the yellow, the saffron, then I'll be olive drab, medium gray, then the blue might be ocean. The little tiny thing only weighs around 70 or so pounds. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, Cheerio? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, I want to do it, but the grandpup wants comfort. God love it. Yeah. Give him comfort. He's got a broken leg. He needs comfort. Poor boy. How did he hurt himself? Oh, no, Zeb. Oh, I was thinking it was Cheerio. Sorry. Grandpup. So your actual grandson? Is that what you mean? I thought you meant Cheerio because I know he's your grandpa, your grand pup because he's your daughter's. Sorry, I just assumed. So it's another dog but named Zeb. Okay. Got it. Had me confused. Now, every time I hear the word Cheerio, like I get an email from, is it
It's her daughter's dog.
From Cheerio. And okay, so Cheerio is Matt's. I was confused and I thought it was your daughter's dog. Every time I see the word Cheerio, I go Cheerio, and I think you're of your dog. Oh, I'm sorry, Ambi. I'm so glad our cat is better. Blue was sick for a few days. Actually, you asked prayers for Blue, didn't you?
It's never fun when our fur babies are sick, or any of our babies are sick.
No, it's not. He's doing better now. The one that's been in here that Bob was talking to on his lap about him coming in and going to sleep, that's Fluff. And he stays outside mostly. Well, the neighbor girl was here a couple days ago, and she was like, it looks like he's got spaghetti on him. And I was like, I didn't say anything because I didn't want to freak her out. But I'm like, oh no, what happened? Who do you have a scruff with? And he had a big old, he wouldn't let me get near him. He had a big old gash up in his shoulder, but it's all healed now. I was afraid of it getting infected, but I can't think of what it's called now. When you get the sore inside, that deep down, and then it'll break open. I know what it's called, but I can't think of it right this minute. I know you guys are used to abscess. I was afraid it was
abscess. Yes.
I'll put some reveal on it and send him on his merry way. yesterday when he finally let me look at it.
He said they only did that to make you feel better.
Yeah, he just did that to make me feel better, Bob says. Where are my glasses? I need my glasses so I don't have to keep bending over to read what you guys say. There we go. Okay, Cynthia, the first thing I do when I work on the rings is I always do a single crochet around them because that's the easiest to do when you're working around the ring the first time.
Okay. It's kind of like how I do my hair scrunchies around the rubber band then.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because then I'm also going to put as many on here as I can, so I'll keep scrunching it up together because I don't want that plastic to show. And then I just do whatever I want after that. Sometimes I just, as you saw from the ones I showed, I make them look like a flower by going from smaller stitches to bigger and back down. And sometimes I just do half double crochets around and make it wavy. Sometimes I just do a couple more rows of double crochets and increase just a little bit, and it looks, straighter. It's not wavy at all. It's just a small circle.
Right.
And then sometimes we get the small ones like off of water bottles, or when I used to drink a lot of G2 before they stopped making G2. Well, at least before our stores stopped carrying it when they came out with G0. And so I'd make
My
smaller
dad
ones.
misses that G2.
Yeah, because G2 is what my doctor always wanted me to have when I was sick, because he said I always you need that little bit of sugar to make the electrolytes work. So when they make it G0, the electrolytes aren't doing what they're supposed to.
Right.
Okay, so Ambi, sorry, but I have a cat question. Our cats don't get along and blue sprays. So I ordered a plug-in from Chewy, and it's supposed to emit something to help them be calmer. Anyone know about this? Yeah, I was actually thinking of getting one. You should not use something like that. Like if you have one for your own personal use, but the ones to make them calmer, they're made specifically for pets and cats. So those are fine and safe. As long as it says it's for a cat. If they have one that says it's just for a dog, you don't want that. It needs to be for a cat, because there are certain things that you can put in a diffuser that cats can't use and dogs may be able to. And if you ever use personal diffusers, do not use peppermint, because that is toxic for cats. Peppermint and citrus, lemon, orange, and there's more. All you have to do is Google it.
I did not know that.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, then it's fine, Ambi. I actually was thinking of getting one. I give Klua cat chews to calm her down, and I wish I could afford. Jackson Galaxy has some drops that he has for all different things, and one of them is for when cats are being bullied, and then for the one that's not being bullied but is being timid, to help each of them with their problems. But actually, what I would suggest, besides just trying to make them calmer, is watch Jackson Galaxy videos and see how he shows you to get cats to be calm around each other, how to get them integrated with each other. It's a process, but every time I've seen him use it, it works. because just making them calm isn't always going to solve the problem. You're welcome, hon. Ever since I found Jackson Galaxy, I'm a huge Jackson Galaxy fan.
It's going to be interesting to see how this color works up into this cat ball.
Oh, that's pretty. What kind of cotton is that?
It just says Pisgah yarn, Pisgah.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. It's some of the older yarn that I got back when AC Moore was still around.
Oh,
It's called Juanita Rose.
it's pretty. Yeah, I never got to shop at the AC Moore because we didn't have them around here. Never ever heard of them until I started watching videos.
Right. Well, they are greatly missed.
Okay, I'm going to put that on. And let me turn. Looks like my prayer group is everybody who has not seen what somebody asked for prayers today, they're responding. So that's just going to keep dinging. So I just turned it off. I knew somebody needed prayers this morning because I woke up to a whole bunch of it kept going ding, ding, ding. I was like, I only have one chat that does that, and that's the prayer group.
You've only been to the Hobby Lobby yarn clearance. We didn't have one of those, but there was one about an hour away, so it was a treat to get to go there. Ours
No.
hasn't done one yet, Ambi.
Yeah, I won't be going because I'm still working on stuff in the back room. So last time I went was 2 years ago. Well, last year when I was there getting beads, we went to see what was left like weeks after they had it. And that's when I got knitting, my bamboo knitting needles for like 75 cents a piece or whatever they were. Circular knitting needles. It's just I was able to get everything except for the cords. Kathy said theirs had it last week. I have a cousin who works there, so the year that I went, I asked her to let me know. And she called me one afternoon and she's like, oh, it started because she's like, promise, I'll tell you as soon as it's set, I promise. And then she called me and she said, it started earlier today. And then she was like, some lady's already been in and filled her like 3 cartfuls. And I was thinking, you were supposed to tell me like this morning, but it was fine. I still got a lot of yarn. It was just everything I wanted was already gone. Sandra says, I wish I could, but finances just are too tight. So if you go, have fun for me, Amby. And it was kind of nice, you know, getting some stuff I had never heard of because I found some other, you know, fibers I'd never worked with before. Hello, Sunita. Welcome in.
Hey, Sunita. Thank you so much for your help the other day. I know you know what I'm talking about. I appreciate it. I just didn't know. I just did ours since Friday because Friday they hadn't done it, but they had it yesterday. It'd be nice if they did it all at the same time, though, you know?
Yep. And they may know weeks before they're going to do it.
They won't tell you, though.
Was explaining it to me. They may know weeks before because she was like, when I asked her to tell me, she's like, we got the stickers for it, but we can't do anything until they tell us to go out and actually, you know, start it. So she's like, it can be now, can be weeks from now. We never know. And I'd asked her about that. I'm like, are you not supposed to tell people about it? She's like, if they ask, if they know it's something that we do every year at their store, they don't mind telling people. Okay. Sunita says, I'm over the Hobby Lobby sale. So I'm sure you guys have seen the prompt come up. If anybody has a memory they want to share about Keith, please do so. We would love to hear what you have to say. Now, I don't work there. My cousin works there. I don't work anywhere. Wish I could. I was a massage therapist. Oh, right there. Please share your blessings about Keith. I guess I still am a massage therapist, just not a working one. Thanks,
Amy, you might recognize him when we play the video in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I thought that you had come in when he was in one of the live crochet alongs. Because he would come in on Fridays and work on cat toys, and then when I started the CALs, he was coming in and he did one of those.
She said I might have once.
Yeah.
Very sweet person.
Very, very sweet.
He had a heart of gold for everyone.
Yeah, I don't know if you were in here, Kathy, when I said it, but I'm using the hooks that you sent me. Remember, Keith loved these, and we helped him get his set. We helped him find it because almost everybody had sold out of them already. She says, I know of him and recognize him, but don't know him, Yeah. So he was just an acquaintance.
Well, we're going to play a video in a little bit, and it'll help you get to know him better if you didn't, Ambi.
I went and read over his page again in Facebook the other day and all the sweet notes that people are leaving. I should go on today. I'm sure a lot of people are probably on there today.
And what she's referring to is today is his 1-year anniversary of passing.
His heavenly birthday.
What, Ambi? Huh?
His heavenly birthday, as my family calls it.
Yep. He was indeed.
But I know some
Kathy
people. I really enjoyed getting to know him through AJ's groups. Such a kind person. I know he really enjoyed the group and making cat toys and doing the cow with us. Yeah, he was so excited. And he was so excited. He was doing the cow where we were making to make a cat or a dog. Did something happen? We got an echo now. Cynthia?
What's that? What?
Did something change? We have an echo now. We didn't know before. I didn't know if maybe you hit something by accident.
I haven't touched a thing other than my hook.
Weird.
And I'm on a computer, not a phone. Hey, Maritza.
Yeah, I'm on my computer too. So
How are you doing tonight? And what are you working on?
Maybe it's Keith messing with us.
Bob said maybe it's Keith messing with us.
Might be.
Would have been like him. Sandra says, I remember when he passed, I did not know him, but saw what an impact he had on others.
He was the first male on my channel. And now there's several, but he was the first. Well, besides Mr. Joyful, of course.
Yeah, Kathy says she only hears the echo when I talk. I'm going to try and mute myself and unmute it, see if maybe that helps. Okay, did that help any? Nope. I don't know why it would. It's never done it before. So I don't know what to.
I only heard it that one time. I don't hear it now.
I hear it every time I talk. Sorry, guys. I don't know what to do to help it. And now I didn't hear it that time. Oh, there it is.
Well, if you think it's me, I can.
No, it's when I talk. So I didn't do it there now. Well, I don't know. It seemed like you moved something, and that's when it started. So that's why I didn't know.
But I haven't touched anything. All I've touched is
I just saw motion. So yeah, it's gone now. At least I think it is. Who knows? Yeah, it's still there. No, it's there, Andy. it does it when one of the ladies comes in and does the chats in the cow with us, and we just deal with it while she's in there because she doesn't know how to fix it either. Alrighty, anybody else have any memories? Kaylin says each of us turn our volume down by one click. That might help.
I actually took mine down almost 20 clicks.
I just took mine
Whenever
down.
I do my lives, my sound is at 50 and I took it down to 30. So I can just barely hear y'all.
Yeah, mine's at 35. So where or when, Ambi? I think he meant when. Ambi wants to know if we knew when we'll pass. Would we want to? No.
Well, if we knew what?
When we would pass, if we would want to.
If you'd want to know ahead of time, then you can do that.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I've already left this world once.
Yeah,
On
but if
August
you knew
10th.
when you're going to, like, forever, would you want to? I'm already crazy enough knowing I have a terminal illness and wondering when I may pass. That I wouldn't want to know when, no, because I would just be even more freaked out and would have a lot of stuff I'd want to do and not enough time. And no, I start this over. I don't like when the beginning gets messed up, and I knew I shouldn't have done that. I started it with a whatever we usually make a, I can't even think of what that's called, a slip knot. And normally I don't make these with a slip knot. Would you want to know, Cynthia, if you knew when you weren't going to be here anymore? Are you still thinking about it?
I mean, the day that I did pass away, we thought that I was going to the doctor with bronchitis, and little did we know it was an embolism. And if I based off of that and coming back into the room after they revived me and seeing Todd's face and the terror on it, yes, I would like to know. Only because I'd like to be able to tell him one last time, you know, it's okay. And from my experience of passing, it was a very joyful experience. Like wherever I actually was in that moment, which I mean, I believe in heaven and hell, but it was a happy place. I was laughing at the time. I couldn't walk, but I was actually standing up, dancing wherever I was. I can't tell you who I saw because it's just a memory that God hasn't let me have, but I can tell you that in that moment, I had a conscious memory that I recognized every face I saw. So I know that it's a great thing. It's very peaceful. It's the best moment I've ever had in my life. But I am grateful every single day that he brought me back because I'm not ready to give up my time with Todd, and I so want to retire with him. So, but as far as like spiritually, it doesn't matter because I know it's going to be great. But seeing his face and that terror that was on his face, because we just had no clue how bad it was until that moment. And so I wish never, well, I hope I never see that look on his face again. So I'm kind of like mixed feelings.
Yeah, because I don't know. I would think that that might even be harder on our significant others if they did know the day.
You're talking about know the date ahead of time or know an hour before.
The day ahead of time. Like if we could find out right now what day we're going to pass. Ambi always asks these questions.
The question is, if you knew, what would you change? What would you do differently?
Well, I want to hear what he says. Would you want to know if we could
No.
find out today when I was going to die?
No.
Yeah, just what I thought. No.
Because technically we should live every day like it's our last anyway.
Right. I mean, I have a friend, you know, you had your day and you passed away. I have a friend who was in a car accident that he should have passed away from, and he didn't. But now he can tell when someone's going to pass, and he sees it before it happens. And he told me he could tell me what day I was going to die on and ask me if I wanted to know, and I said no, I don't. And I feel bad for him. It breaks him up every time he knows somebody's going to pass and he can't say anything to me. And all of my friends think it's crazy, but I don't.
Ow, ow, ow.
And that just always makes me wonder if he's worth it for them. I don't know. Anyway. Didn't mean to get on something there. So
I don't know. It's kind of appropriate, remembering Keith.
yeah. I mean, I wish we would have had longer with Keith. I know when the day that I heard it blew me away. Hello, Margie's Crafty Corner. Welcome in.
Hey, sweet Margie. How are you?
And I forgot to say this when Sanita and Maritza came in, but when you guys come in, let us know what's on your hook and what's in your cup.
Margie, you knew Keith. Is there anything you would like to share?
I feel that Cynthia and I were very lucky because we used to get voice messages from them every day. And I just knew something was wrong because I had not heard from him in about 4 days before I found out. And then I didn't believe it. I had to go find his page and look at the obituary that his mom put up there before I would believe it. It knocked me over.
Yeah, 2 days before he passed, he was having that surgery. And so I sent him a message and I said, I know when you're done, you're not going to feel like talking. and you shouldn't rest. But when you do, just let me know you're okay.
Actually, he passed away the Sunday night before the surgery.
I know, that's what I'm saying. 2 days before he was supposed to have the surgery, I sent him a message
Okay.
and said, and I never heard from him.
Yeah, I had sent him a message too to let me know how it went.
And then Racine, with lots of tips, she saw it on Facebook where his family posted,
Mm-hmm.
and she sent it to me.
And I think I found out because I went into your Bible study and you started talking about it.
Yeah. On my Bible study, yeah.
So it was a couple days later. Margie says, I remember how caring and supportive he was.
Todd, I sent you a
of
text
all of
message.
us here in the community.
Yeah.
I remember I had started in my Bible passages as a short every day. And he had asked me how well that was going. And he asked me, do you think I could leave a passage on mine every day? Do you think that would be fine? And I'm like, Keith, that's fantastic. Do whatever you want. It's like, well, I already do kind of a Bible study or something. And I'm like, that would just be wonderful. I just want to spread God's word to everybody I talk to. That's what he did.
He did. For 2.5 years, I did a live devotional every morning on my channel. The first year, it was like an uploaded video. And then after that, they asked me to start doing it as a live, and I did. Thank you. And he was always there. And then when I finally had to make the decision that I had to stop doing it because of my health at the time, he and Michelle Crochets in Kansas, which I think she's changed her channel name, but they both started doing the daily devotions. That was nice.
Abby says, yes, one thing I take away from what I've heard of him is the care for others.
Oh, gosh, yes. Which sadly, he didn't necessarily receive the same level of love back from people as he gave. He was definitely someone to emulate.
I always tried to give him more love because I always knew, that some people looked at him as being weird. And I was like, no, he's the sweetest guy I know. Besides,
I think what was so difficult about his passing is he always displayed this level of grace. Like he never exaggerated what he was going through, even though his health was a really big deal. And he never really tried to cast the limelight on himself. Like he downplayed the scenario of what he was going through, but yet it was pretty serious.
Yeah, I didn't even know he had home nurses until maybe 2 weeks before he was supposed to have his surgery, because he had to get off of we were working on the crochet along, and he was like, I have to leave because my home nurse is coming.
Well, just let me know when you want.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
He was always talking about what his next project is he was going to work on. And I'm done with this. I'm going to do this. You'll see the project he worked on with me on the cow, and he was so excited, and he was so excited because he was doing it with alpaca yarn. I told him, I said, Keith, it was an amigurumi. I'm like, it's not going to stand up as well with alpaca because it's so soft. Oh, but I got to do it. I got to do this dog in alpaca. I have to. I said, that's fine, Keith. And then he's like, I'm running out. I can't make it full size. That's okay. Do what you can. He's like, but it looks funny, but I love it.
Yes.
It's beautiful. He was already talking about a duck. I think that you were going to help him with the duck or something. He kept talking about a duck. Somebody was going to help him with. I thought it was you.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you want to play the video.
Whenever you want to. I think we probably got about everybody here who's coming.
All right.
Let me turn this banner off. No, that's his mom. That reminded me of another thing he loved so much besides talking about God and his friends and everything he did. He loved his country. He would talk about his military friends, and anytime he knew somebody had been in the military, he would thank them. Yeah, that was really nice. Cynthia spent a lot of time. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy's such a beautiful tribute to Keith.
He was a beautiful tribute to all of us. But thank you. Everybody should have one friend in their life that's like Keith. So if you don't, go find one.
Margie said that was a wonderful video and tribute to Keith.
Thank you, Margie.
I know I miss him every day. And every time I go on Marco Polo, I see his beautiful face.
I know.
And I always think, oh, I wonder if I have a message from Keith. Well, no, I haven't had one in a year.
And there he is. And there's AJ.
The only person I talk to now on there is Cynthia. Well, for those who came in later, like I said earlier, if anybody wants to make any cat toys, since that's what Keith is doing, and he's actually making shapes like I am right now. And he was so excited. He was like, "Got to get it out to you." I have it all ready. I just have to. So that's why we asked people to make cat toys in memory of Keith. And you can donate them to a mission around you if you want to. If you don't have anywhere, you can email me. You can send them to me, and I'll send them to the person I think is making them for. But I have other patterns besides the ones linked below if anybody would want.
So I have a really cool story. So I was going to take mine. We have a shelter right here actually in Newberry. And they have their own little vet shop in there, and they also have a little grooming section. But anyway, a friend of mine just adopted a kitten, and due to some neglect that it had to have one of its legs amputated, and it is blind in one eye. So the two that I've already made are going to her cat. But I asked her if I could hang on to them just so I could have them for this live, just in case I needed to show them. So I don't know if I will do this ball since there's already a ball, or maybe give it to my friend to take back when she goes for the next checkup. She has to take the cat back to where she got it to do some random checkups just until they can make sure that the cat's adjusting and everything well. So maybe I'll give it to her and let her take it back with her to pass along to another cat that's going to be adopted out. So I think that's a pretty cool idea. What you think, AJ?
I think that's cool. I think Keith would like that.
So since the cat is 3 months old, they had a name for it, but it doesn't necessarily recognize it. So she's still trying to come up with a name. So.
And awesome, Sandra. Sandra said we have a shelter here we can donate to.
Oh, nice.
You know, even you've got the two that are on the cords, but one by itself too. They love to bat things around, so on the floor.
I could actually take one of these balls. Well, I don't know. I like the idea of her giving back. Never mind. I was going to say I have a little tiny dowel rod I could attach one to, and then she could dangle it, especially since the cat's blind in one eye. But I don't know. I kind of like the idea of her giving one back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Well, I've seen lots of different cats that are blind in one or both eyes, and they will still play like other cats. They know they're in front of them, and they just play with them. And especially if they have the sound in it, they can follow it. Plus, if it's just blind in the one eye, it will be able to see out of the other one and see shadows.
Right.
I think she should name the cat Lucky.
Bob said that he thinks she should name the cat Lucky.
Oh, I like that actually, Bob. I will tell her that.
It's a survivor.
It's a survivor.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Or blessed.
Oh, wow. And this lady is a Christian too, so she'd love that. We rescued a dog one time when my boys were very, very little. A nurse at a hospital actually found the dog, and we were in there for a checkup, and she walked into the room, and the boys and I were talking about, where we were going to go to look for an animal. And anyway, she overheard that, and she's like, if you're interested in a dog. And I said, well, that's what we're looking for. And she said, well, I have rescued a dog, and it's, we went and got it checked out and got it all its shots and blah, 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 blah. She says, y'all are welcome to come over to the house on Saturday and just see how the visit goes. And so we did. And my middle son, the one that was in the Marines, he looked up and said, I think we should name him Chance because he's getting a second chance at life.
Aww.
He was only 4 years old. I was like, Chance it will be. And that's what we named him. We named him Chance.
That was awesome. Yeah, I think I really like the Lucky.
Yeah, I like Lucky.
Our cats love it when I turn on YouTube channels that are about cats. And they really like when I turn on the ones, I don't know, it's somewhere in the Middle East. I can't remember which country it is. And it's these people, they go out and they feed the feral cats in the park.
Japan.
Every day.
Oh, yeah, I've heard something like that.
But this one I think is Bangkok or something that starts with a B, I think. And people will call them if they find ones that are hurt somewhere, or there's kittens without their mothers, or they find a mother who's like carrying around its kitten because there's something wrong with it. So we watch those, and sometimes they're really sad, but they will help them until they get to where they can, they may have to keep them for their whole entire life. They have a couple like that, but they do try to adopt the ones out that they can.
Right.
And our cats will just sit there, and especially Little Bit, who was her and her brother. Her brother likes to stay outside most of the time, but he does come in sometimes. But they were left by some people who, when they moved, and they found their way across the street to us. And then that's when we found Meow Mission. And that's when we started doing the catch and release program with them. And we got shelters for them to stay in outside. And she had gotten pregnant. And after she had the babies, I won't talk about that. That was a sad time about what happened after that. But anyway, when she got fixed, there was some issues because it was still so close after she had given birth. And she was kind of lethargic. So we brought her in the house, and she's been in the house ever since. But she's just the sweetest little thing.
Oh.
And when we turn those on, and if the kittens are playing, like if they're playing with one of the sticks, with the string on it or whatever, and trying to get the kittens to move around, or even if they're just fighting with rolling with each other or whatever, she's up there trying to bat at the screen, trying to play. It is just the sweetest thing.
Oh.
Yeah, she's dad girl.
Remember, we had the cat called Lucky. I had to name it something when I dropped it.
Yeah. He named one of the cats that we had trapped Lucky. I haven't seen Lucky.
That was the one with the collar.
Oh, yeah, that was the one with the collar. We called it Lucky because it had a collar. We don't know if somebody kicked it out of the house. We don't know if he got out of the house, but he didn't have a chip. So you always have to check for a chip first before they take him in to fix them. And he had this collar that was on him. They put a dog collar on him, and he had it on for so long it was starting to dig into his neck.
Oh.
So they had to cut it off of him after we trapped him.
It took me 4 months to trap him.
It took us 4 months to trap him. He was so smart. He would not go into the trap to get the food. And finally he did one day. He was so hungry because, we don't put the food out for a couple days before trapping so that they get hungry.
I put it out all week, and all week you go in, but it wasn't set. As soon as it was set.
Yeah. Well, the day before, we're not supposed to put food out. All week you put the food in, and you put it back a little bit farther and a little farther so they go into. So he went into the trap and out every day, as he moved it in. But as soon as it was trapped, he wouldn't go in. Or as soon as it was set to trap, he wouldn't go in. It took us 4 tries for him to finally go in. And
I turned it around the other way all week.
Yeah, he had to do things different than with the other cats to trick him into it. And so we called him Lucky because they finally got him and cut that collar off of him.
Or he would have died.
Yeah. Yep. After a couple weeks, he took off. So we don't know if somebody else found him and took him in, or that's what I like to think. Or if he went back. I hope he didn't go back to home. If they, I just don't know if they didn't know better. I don't know if he got out the door. Who knows?
They've been around here a long time.
So I'm hoping, because lots of times, people will take them in and just keep them as their own. We actually had a tiger cat that has been hanging around. That when it comes time to trap, we figured that we'll have to put the traps out. And then he stopped hanging around, and I found him on one of South Bend's Lost and Found pages, and he came around the other day and he has a collar on. So I think the person who found him and put him up there and then never found if a family that he belonged to kept him.
Well, then he came back from college no longer around.
He may have, they may have, they don't like colors on him. He may have kicked it off himself. So, because I know the person, was like, oh, he's so nice, so kind, so I want to see if he has a family. So I figured that person kept him. So.
That's kind of a long thing.
And we have another cat that somebody 2 doors down booted out. Who lives half his time inside, huh, baby? He's up there sleeping right behind my computer. And his other half the time outside. And then another one, we call him Boots. He's mostly black and with white paws, but he keeps on getting more and more white patches because he's got white almost all the way up one of his back legs now.
Oh.
And he's the most feral cat that we have had. And come here, baby.
I hear a baby now.
Come here. Come here. Mama's come here. Come on. That's my baby. That's Kahlua. Come on. Okay, don't then. Well, anyway, when he got trapped, he jumped in the trap. He did not want in there. And he moved and jumped so much that when we took him to the mission, they had to take the other cats off the table because they were afraid that he was going to knock them off. And the only time he settled down was when he was in the car and it was moving. And after he was fixed, he started coming around more and more. And now he stays on the porch. And he actually, every night when it's time for teas, which is TREATS's, I can't say it because it's time for them to have them, past time, he will be sitting out there. He's probably been out there for a half an hour waiting because he knows now that I will take him some out and I'll put him on the porch. And he will stay on the porch now when I go out there sometimes. Sometimes he'll go down to the step, but he doesn't run away like he used to, like all the way down the sidewalk. So we're hoping by the end
year
of
we still haven't petted them.
Yeah, we still haven't petted him. It's been a year, but we're hoping by the end of summer that maybe Bob can get a pet in because he stays around him more than he does me. Or maybe one of these days when I'm out there petting Charcoal, Little Bit's brother, that maybe he'll, let me. So, but he's best friends with Fluff, the one that's asleep behind my computer. And it's funny. And I have not been able to get a picture yet because he can sense when I'm about ready to take him. Fluff will go out there and he will literally get him down on the ground, wrestle him, and start kissing him all over his face. It is the sweetest thing to see. Oh, baby. Is that why you're wailing at me? It's tea time. I told you it's going to be late tonight.
When
Cutie. Abby said, hey, cutie.
when I had my Mancoon, Callie, I had him before Todd and I got married. And it's funny because the story goes that Callie is the one that chose Todd as my husband because Callie didn't like anyone. Callie only came out to me and 2 of my 3 boys. And anyway, long story short, when it was that time of the day, we called it meow meow time because literally Callie would come up there and sit on the couch arm of the couch, and he would sit there and just go meow 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 meow. We called it meow meow time. And so anyway, so we literally got to a point we couldn't say meow meow unless you were willing to give up the tea thing.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, to this day, and Callie's been gone for a while. Todd, will you bring Callie's toy off the fireplace mantle? We started filling this little cat toy with the little soft treats,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd have to bat it around in order to get them out.
Yeah, a
And
puzzle toy.
yeah, and when it came time, we donated all of his things except for this one little toy because he loved it so much. But anyway, Callie came to the door one day, and Callie was only an indoor cat. He'd never gone outside. And Todd was standing at the door talking to me on the other side. It was Todd, me, my sister, and a friend of mine and Todd's. And Callie literally kept pawing at the door. And I opened the door and picked him up. And I was like, what is going on? And he literally jumped from me into Todd's arms and just started purring. And of course, then I went weak at the knees, and I was, yeah, in love. But anyway, this is our Callie toy. It's got little fish on it that you just, I think, yeah, you screw it off. And it's got like a weight in this bottom part.
Uh-huh.
The treats in, and then you just screw it back on, and they have to bat it, and it falls out this little hole.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the one thing that we had to hang on to because he loved it so much. And it sits on our fireplace mantle right beside the lantern that we lit the night of Jonathan's crucible at boot camp. So those two things sit up on our mantle.
Bob said he never really liked cats until he met my cat Stash that I had.
Oh, I love that
He
name.
just
Stosh.
loved her. Well, it was short for Anastasia.
She didn't like me.
I love that though.
Oh, she did too. She loved you. She didn't go to a lot of people, but she went to him. She preferred me, but she would go to him.
She loved him.
She loved Molly. Well, she loved Emily too. She passed away when Emily was about 2. So Emily doesn't remember her, but oh, she loved Emily something fierce. But when my goddaughter was born and we were watching her one night and I had her down in her car seat,
Uh-huh.
she was sleeping. She sat right next to her, and when I tried to go to look at her, she just looked at me and she was like, because she was protecting her. And I was like, I'm not going to hurt her. I'm taking
Protecting
care
her
of her
baby.
too.
Protecting her baby.
Yeah, well, Molly was sick, so I was checking on her because she was starting to cry, and I think she thought that, something was hurting her.
Right.
So she was just like, no. You trying to get Boots to come in? Oh, there goes Fluff.
Come on. Look at that. Come on, Fluff. Fluff, you can't go. There you go.
He opens the door every once in a while and sees if Boots wants to come in.
You know what? He don't want nothing to do with Fluff. He's like, send that old lady out with the teas.
He don't want Fluff right now. He wants his teas. He'll get him. I always put him in the same spot. Last night it was too funny because I went out and I couldn't find him. It was so dark and I couldn't see him, and Fluff was there, so I gave him his next to him outside. He was laying down, and Charcoal doesn't usually eat them, but last night he wanted them because Bob had already brought in all the food, so he wanted something to eat, so he wanted some of those. And so I put him down next to him, and I put Boots where I always put him, and I knew he'd be up there. And sure enough, I came in and I turned around and looked, and here he is. He's like running up the porch, but then he goes running like by Charcoal, thinking Charcoal was eating his. And I would open the door and I'd point to his pile, and I'm like, no, over there. And he went to Charky, and Chark just like growled at him a little bit, and then he backed up. And then finally I pointed, and he looked at me like he was going to walk away because I had opened the door and I was pointing. And then the next thing he was looking at him, and then he was like, boom, there they are. I'm like, I literally put him in the same spot every night.
That's the thing about our fur babies. They have their own little personalities.
Yep. And
Own
everyone
individual
is
personalities.
different. Little bit is so sweet though. Chloe's got to have hers first. And then I shake the box, and wherever little bit, she just comes running so fast. And she's short. She's short for a cat.
She tries to hop like she's a deer.
Yeah, she tries to hop like she's a deer, but she'll come zooming through, and her body comes, and then her little boot will go behind, like faster, and like, ooh, has to scoot up to get even with her. It's so funny. So then when I follow her, I go, okay, waddle, 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 waddle. And then she zooms in front of me to beat me. So she's in there first. Sandra says, shoo. Annie got Zeb off so I could get up. That pup is heavy. I no more than sit down. Then Cheerio and Maybelline jumped up in my lap. Of course, they haven't had grandma time. Cheerio says, that's my lap. Whenever she comes into the cal to work on her project, Cheerio was right there, right in her lap.
That's cute, Sanja. I am popular. I love it. I love it.
Okay, let me see. It is 9:21, so I know Cynthia's got to be to work in the morning, and other people need to be getting to bed. So it's one last round. If anybody else has anything they want to say about Keith. And then I would like to ask Cynthia to say a prayer, if you wouldn't mind. I know we didn't talk about that, but
It's all right.
I think that you would mind.
No. And I'll show my finished ball on Yarn Joy Adventures next week.
Margie's Crafty Corner says, I have a new fur baby in the house. What kind do you have, Margie? Sandra says, Maybelline is constantly by my side during the cal too. Because I always just see.
Congratulations, Margie.
Huh?
Back when my parents were first married, my mom had a small cat or kitten. Well, my grandpa, Dad's dad, came to live with them. They both worked, so they told him just to keep the door closed so Cammie doesn't get out. Oh, I like that name too, Cammie.
My dad did not like cats at all. But every time we would pass this house that had free kittens, I would beg. Can I please have? I came home from my grandma's one weekend, and he's like, I have a surprise for you. And he had gotten me one of those.
Margie. Go ahead.
But they lost it. And we were in a brand new house to us. And we were setting up my brother's waterbed, and they were afraid the cat had gotten stuck underneath the waterbed.
Oh.
And all they could hear was this movement. They kept looking and looking and looking. Well, they forgot that the trash can pulled out. And I guess they had eaten ribs for dinner. So they had it left open while they were eating, and they were throwing the bones in there. So she had gotten in underneath the trash can. So when they closed it, she was in there. Because finally, I think either I went to throw something away or my mom did. And here comes this cat just exploding out from underneath that trash can.
Oh, wow.
She was like Mittens. She was all black with white mittens. And I called her Spooky. I love that cat.
Turning white in her face, she is calmer than Cheerio. He is around 6 months old, I think.
And Margie's new fur baby is a Frenchie. We have a niece who breeds Frenchies.
Margie says she has attached herself to me. What did you name her, Margie?
Kaylin has an orange cat that she took in from outside. Its name is Cheerio, or not Cheerio, is Garfield.
My best friend in high school, I nicknamed her Frenchie. We were in the play Grease, and
Mhm.
she played the part of Frenchie, and so it just stuck. So when I hear that, it makes me think of my friend Lori. Chloe, I like that name.
That's a pretty name,
That is a pretty name.
especially for a little Frenchy dog.
Yeah.
My mom took my brother and I to see Grease. The first week it was out in the movie theater, and we sat and watched it twice. We had missed a little bit of the intro. So when the people came in to clean and they were trying to tell us we had to leave, she's like, well, we missed the big, part of the beginning. And then they were like, okay, well, I guess you can stay in for a little while. Yeah, we stayed and watched the whole thing all over again.
Right. I love Grease.
Yeah, me too. Okay, got one more stitch, and this one.
Oh, Samantha. Samantha, do you have a memory of Keith that you want to share? Annie's
Hi,
cat is
Samantha.
a one-person cat. Don't mess with Mittens, Annie.
You will regret it. Ouch. Okay, that's how I did my ring tonight.
Oh, cute.
So it's more like a scrunchie.
Yep.
I did 2 rows of single crochets and just a row of half doubles.
Nice.
Back when I used to do
This is how the yarn
Fiesta
turned out.
Fridays. It's beautiful.
I do like that.
Back when we used to do Furry Fiesta Fridays, where we just worked on cat toys during that time, I would try to show what cat toys I got done. And after I would put the video up that I made to show what I had gotten done during the week. We would have a time where we got together and virtually worked on cat toys. Lots of times all I would have is rings because I didn't have time to do anything else during the week.
You know, that's something you could do on your channel is have a little segment maybe once a week and call it cat news or something like that.
Well, that's what I used to do. It was Furry Fiesta Fridays. Actually, Kathy came up with the name. I had a competition and she had won it. It got to be too much and too hard for me last year with as many times as I had my surgery and got sick and stuff. So I just didn't do it this year. But I still work on the cat toys. Hi, Samantha. We were getting ready to finish here in just a couple minutes. Do you have a memory of Keith that you would like to share with us? I don't think she heard you when you asked her. Like anything, when you think of Keith, do you have a memory that you think of? Like for me, the memory I think of is he worked on a dog during a cal that I did, and he made sure it was alpaca yarn. That was one of my happiest. His project, which project do you remember, perchance? his crochet project. Yeah, he always had a crochet project going on. I just feel bad
Thank you for sharing.
that he had just gotten those hooks and he really didn't get to use them. I think he maybe used them once or twice. She said, I don't know. That's okay, Samantha. We're glad you're able to make it.
I forgot to tell y'all that yarn that was on the what do you call that thing, AJ? That round machine
The
thingy.
Addie,
The Addie. The yarn that was on that was some yarn that he won from one of the movie night things.
we
Movie
had
night.
decided to have it on my channel. We had said in the intro video that it would probably be on my channel. Because I had asked Cynthia if she would like to come and do this with me tonight.
I did that. Plus, I wanted to help AJ out with her channel.
Oh, thank you. I guess I didn't think, since I didn't get the link out to you until a couple days ago, you probably didn't have a chance to really post it.
No.
That's one reason we did the intro video, though, so people would know
Right.
we were doing it. And if it wasn't on her channel, I always forget. I would like to finish these with blind. Whatever. Ending. I can't. And I always do the flip it through, and then I have to take it out to do the blind stitch.
I almost got this made. I'm on the decrease rounds now.
I would have had another one started if I didn't have to take this one out because it wasn't laying right. Because I did that slip knot. The blind join. That's what this is.
So you doing okay over there?
She's just a little antsy. She can wait.
Yeah, she's past that. She's pouty.
She can pout. Can you please run my playlist, please? I do go and watch your channel, Samantha. If that's what you mean. And I already have a couple of moderators, hon. I usually don't need them because my channel's so small. If I ever grow and get larger and if I need somebody, I'll let you know. Hopefully one of these days I'll need somebody. But I already have, like tonight, there's Ambi's here and Kathy's here. Kaylin was here. I think I had 3 mods in here. Plus I have 2 more than that. There's a couple of us, we just said we would mod for each other, and we used to do get together at least 4 nights a week and just crochet together back when we all used to. Actually, 3 more. I forgot about Nadine. But we've all have other stuff going on now, so we don't get to do it very often anymore. And that's one reason why I started doing my CALs, because I miss having virtual chats and crocheting with each other.
That's what I love about my play dates.
We'll see if I grow, if I ever get enough, and I'm hoping to get monetized someday so I can help out with some finances around the house. She wants to know what you're working on, Cynthia.
I am making another cat ball. I made this cat ball, which you probably saw on Yarn Joy Adventures, and this little dangly toy. So now I'm making another cat ball, and I'm on the decrease stitches. This one's definitely a lot bigger than this one was.
Yeah.
But I did a 3.25 hook with this one, and I'm doing a 3.5 hook with this one.
Kathy says she misses our getting together and chatting. We'll have to see if we can get everybody together some night.
What are you working on, Samantha?
She said she hasn't watched Yarn Joy Adventures. And plus, we're making cat toys in memory of Keith. Samantha.
Not the one that went, not the one that went out tonight, Samantha. I did it a couple weeks ago, but I know you commented on it.
Yeah, what are you working on, Samantha? I forgot to ask you. What's on your hook and what's in your glass? I guess I don't do that all the way through and after we get started. Sometimes it just depends on how I feel. I dropped. My needle. Just working on a baby blanket.
Oh, yes. It's actually a very pretty blanket. I've seen it on our last play date. She's got a friend, I think, that's having a baby.
Cool. Yeah, I gotta get probably what I'm gonna work on tonight is the one from my great niece that I'm designing. Just a cottage core mosaic blanket and granny squares blanket and butterfly mosaic. Sandra says, everyone have a blessed night. Martha will be here soon. Zeb, if you want to wait a second, I think I'm going to have Cynthia do our closing prayer.
Just let me know when you're ready.
Whenever you are.
All right. Let me finish this stitch and we'll go ahead and close in prayer.
I have an echo, Samantha. We can't get rid of it for some reason.
All right. If y'all are ready, let's go ahead and close in prayer. All right. Father God, we thank you so much for this time that we've been able to come together, Lord, and remember a very dear friend. And I know that friend is being well taken care of, and he is with you, Lord. And I know that he is looking down over us, probably telling us how to crochet, how to knit. But Lord, we thank you for the gift of friendship. We thank you for the bond that we have been able to form together and come together and unite over the love of a craft and over our love for you here on this wonderful community that we have. Lord, you know the needs and you know the hearts of each and every person who's here, of each and every person who will watch this replay. and of every person who will come across this video, or this live, in the years to come. And Lord, I pray that whatever is on their heart, I pray that whatever is troubling them, I pray that whatever feelings and emotions they're dealing with, that Lord, that they know that they are loved, they are important, and that they matter. Lord, one thing that Keith taught us was how to love one another unconditionally, just like you. And so, Lord, I pray that you watch over each and every one of us. You fill us with a heart that loves like yours. You heal all of our insecurities and our anxieties. Lord, you heal us from all of our health issues, as many of us are facing them. But most importantly, Lord, if there's someone in this world who feels like their life doesn't matter, they don't feel like they're valuable, Lord, I pray that they will come across someone who is able to love them, nug them, and tell them just how important and special they are. Every life matters, Lord. And I pray that those of us here on this live tonight, that we make it our life legacy, that each and every person that we encounter, that we go out of our way, whether it's a smile, a compliment, a kind word, a handshake, a hug, to let everyone know that they are seen, they are important, and that they matter. We love you so much, and we ask all this in your name and your son's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So don't forget that, y'all. You matter.
Yes.
You matter, you matter, you matter.
Do you have anything big coming up on your channel, Cynthia? Or just Friday night?
Just all my weekly things. So I got 6 big highlighted things we do every week. So just check it out. Check it out.
Bible study Friday afternoon.
Yep, we have Bible studies on Friday afternoons at 2:00 Eastern Standard Time. Movie night on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Monday nights, my Joy in the Making goes out. And that's just a little video segment where I never give myself the grace to work on things I want to. So that's what that segment's all about, is working on the things that make my heart fill with joy. Then on Tuesday nights, Yarn Joy Adventures airs, and that's where I share everything else I'm working on, whether it's a crochet along with someone, like I'm working on a crochet along with AJ right now. All the stuff that I make for the shop. And then it's also a segment where if you guys have any completed objects that you would like for me to share out, we have a section in there where you guys get to share your Yarn Joy adventures. And then there's a blooper section because God knows I am anything but perfect. So there's always a blooper. And then on Wednesdays, we have Once Upon a Storybook, where I'm reading the book Anne of Green Gables. And then on Thursday mornings, we have Once Upon a Storybook devotions. And it's just a weekly devotion that goes out on Thursday mornings. And then on Thursday nights, we have a watch party where we watch the episode for movie night on Friday night. So,
wow, I thought you were starting to skim down a little.
I was going to say, and
You have
all
more
of
going on
that
than I thought.
with a 40-hour week at the financial company. So, yeah, my days usually start about 7 in the morning and they usually end about 1 in the morning. And I get about 6 hours of sleep. But if you tell my doctor, I'll tell him you're telling a story.
Okay, you get 8 hours every night. So my channel isn't as scheduled as that, but I do have on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do our live CALs. The next one that will be starting in July for Christmas in July. We're almost done with the one that we're on now. And I just do little ones throughout the year. So when people have big projects they're working on, we just work on something little on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have tomorrow night my AJ's and K's Yarny Tales that I do with Kaylin from K's Crochet Haven, and we have a special guest tomorrow night. We have Just Vintage Crochet will be on with us tomorrow night. We are excited to have Corinna on, so it should be fun. And we do that once a month. Next month we will be taking off because Kaylin has some personal issues that she's dealing with right now, so we're going to take a month off. But we love to see you guys. I try to put up a couple videos a week. I was going to say a week when I can. It depends on how I'm feeling. So I've missed talking to you guys because this month's been a hard month, but I'm getting back there. So love you guys. And as I always say on most of my videos, not usually my lives, but remember you matter. And you're beautiful and you're gorgeous, and I love all you guys. And we will see you later.
I do want to shout out one more thing real quick. I do have the Traveling Box of Joy going around, and if I don't have any more takers, it has pretty much got 3 more destinations, and that is it. So if anyone is interested in doing the Traveling Box of Joy, email me. If you're not sure what it's about, you can email me, and I'll be happy to send you the email describing it. So anyway, but if not, it will soon be making its way back to me very, very soon. So
Samantha, I'm from South Bend, Indiana. So if you know where Notre Dame is, that's where I'm from. Oh, something else just came to mind. I can't remember it. So as you were talking about that, something came to my mind. I don't know. Anyway.
All right. Well, I'm going to say my little spill. So be joyful, stay crafty in your own way, make your own joyful creations, and above everything else, remember that you are important and you are loved. Nugs and joy.
Night, everybody. Oh, and I am trying to start my lives up on my channel, just my own with a guest. Hopefully soon. Talk to you soon. Night, everybody. It's Eastern Standard Time here, Samantha. Night.